Hi guys, so now you're ready to move on to the third and final part of our vision board project, the explaining part. So to move on to this part, we want to be able to explain exactly why we chose some of the things that we did for our vision board that related to our goals, our wants, our dreams, the things that are important to us. So to begin this part, you're going to go to our vision board project folder and you're going to go to the part 3 explaining. In this folder, you will find all the materials that you will need to write a professional and thoughtful reflection of your vision board and the choices you have made with its creation. So we're going to click on part 3, explaining, and we're going to open up that folder. In this folder, you'll notice there's a few files located here for your use. The first one is the actual vision board reflection submission. In this assignment submission, you'll find the directions for this portion of the project itself. You'll also find a reflection template, our vision board reflection grading rubric, how exactly I'm going to grade you for this project, as well as your vision board reflection checklist. Before you turn this in to me and submit it via Schoology, you want to double check and make sure you have all the things on this checklist before you send it in so you can get the best grade possible. Also, I've provided you with some student reflection examples. So if you look in this folder, there's actually some files that you can open, and it will show you some examples from last year, the actual written assignment that these students have done and how they have chosen to explain their project. So I wanted to give you everything to help you be successful in getting an A on this project. So let's go back to our actual folder. So to start, what you'll do is you'll select the vision board reflection submission. In the submission, you will see that it gives you all your directions for this portion of the assignment. Do not freak out. There's a lot of writing, but the bottom half is just a way that I have explained it and how you should set up your reflection. You do not have to do it this way, but it's probably the best way that makes the most sense to me. So you can choose my way or you can do it a different way as long as you have the required materials that are defined for you in your directions. So it says, for this assignment, you will be looking at your vision board and reflecting upon some of the pictures and words you chose. You will complete this writing assignment using Word and will be required to include the following things in your reflection. Reflection must include the following. You need to identify 4 of the goals, wants, dreams, and or quotes that you placed on your board, as well as why you chose those things. Also, for each thing you identify, so for each of the 4, you need to identify and explain one step or thing that you could do to reach this goal. So for example, if I put on my vision board a picture of a doctor, and I choose to explain this, I'm going to say, I chose the picture of a doctor because when I get older, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. One step or thing that I can do to help me reach this goal of being a doctor is getting into a good medical school and getting good grades in med school. Then I'm going to ask you to identify one obstacle that may get in your way of reaching this goal. So for being a doctor, maybe I mentioned that, well, one thing that might get in my way is what if in 2 or 3 years I realize that I don't want to be a doctor anymore? So that's definitely going to change that goal or get in the way of you reaching that goal. So for each of the things that you choose, you need to identify one thing that you can do to get you there, as well as one thing that might get in your way of reaching that goal. Now below, you'll notice that I've given you the best way to handle the setup of this reflection. And I say that probably the best way is to do 6 small paragraphs. Small. They don't have to be long. They don't have to be detailed, as you can see in some of the student examples that I provided for you in this folder. So I suggest that paragraph 1 is an introduction. Paragraph 2 identifies one of the things that you chose, why you chose it, the step you could take, and then the obstacle. And pretty much for paragraphs 3, 4, and 5, you're doing the same exact thing. You're just identifying one of the other things on your vision board. Paragraph 6 would just be a concluding wrap-up. So basically summarizing why you made this vision board and why it will help you. What will it help you do? What's the point of this vision board? In total, this part of the project is worth 150 points. So it's big. So you need to make sure that you're following all the directions. I've also provided for you a rubric that exactly shows you how I'm going to grade each part of your reflection. So I'm going to grade your introduction, your paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and paragraph 5, as well as your grammar and your spelling. Make sure you spell check and you check everything before you submit it to me. Now, also you'll notice on this in this folder, I provided you a template. This is kind of a no-brainer. I've kind of set it up for you. So if you click on the template, it's actually going to give you an option to download this file. So I'm going to download it onto my computer and I'm going to open it right up. It's going to automatically open it into Word for me. All you got to do is fill in the blanks and fill in the directions. So for me, I'm going to go, my name, the title of my reflection, maybe I say, all the things I want to do and have. That's my title. Now, what I would do is paragraph 1. It says, must include an interesting introduction and 4 elements of your vision board you are going to discuss. So what I would do, what would make most sense to me, is I would start writing and typing right below this description. So I need to include an interesting introduction. So I'm going to say, life gets busy all the time. And a lot of the time, we forget what is important to us and the things we want to do in our lives. Because of this, I have created a vision board to remind me of these things. On my vision board, I have included 4 pictures. These pictures are a doctor, the Harvard logo, money, and a BMW. Now I'm going to double check my grammar because it seems like my grammar is off because my green line is telling me that. So it's telling me my order of words. So it says life gets busy all the time and a lot of the time we forget what is important to us, as well as, let's say, as well as the things we want to do in our lives. So I'm going to change that. Yep, makes more sense. All right, so now I have my first introduction paragraph. It's right here. So I'm going to double check. Does it include an interesting introduction? Yeah, it does right here. Also, does it include 4 elements that I've included on my vision board? Yeah. I've mentioned right here that I've included a doctor, Harvard, money, and a BMW. So my first introductory paragraph is good. So what I'm going to do in this template is, now that I know I got it all, I'm just going to go and highlight that part, delete it, and there I go. I have my first paragraph. And I'm going to do the same for paragraph 2. So I'm going to start with paragraph 2, right below its description. So in paragraph 2, I need to include what element of your vision board you are going to talk about. What did you choose, or why did you choose it? What is one thing you can do to help and reach your goal, and what is one obstacle? So guess what? We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to say one of the pictures I included on my vision board was a picture of a doctor. I chose this picture because I want to be a doctor when I grow up. One thing I can do to reach my goal of being a doctor is to get into a good medical school when I finish college. However, sometimes life isn't perfect, and things may get in my way. One thing that could possibly get in my way is maybe I don't want to go, or I don't want to become a doctor 3 years from now. So this will definitely affect my ability to achieve my goal. There we go. We got paragraph 2. It mentions the element, the picture of a doctor. It says my why, because I want to be a doctor when I grow up. It has one thing I can do, and it also includes one thing that might get into my way. So I got everything, and I'm going to double check my grammar, which I need to change that. And I'm good. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of paragraph 2, that description. And now I'm my first 2 paragraphs done. So you're going to do this for the rest of the template, and then you're ready to submit your final reflection, as well as double check through your checklist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that you go and you start with your reflection, and when you are ready to submit, you're going to look back on Schoology for the submission, how to submit your reflection video. So we're done here for the moment, and now I would suggest let's go back to our part 3 explaining folder, and you can either read over the directions again on your own, or you can just jump right in, open up your template, and get going. So that is it for now. You will hear from me yet again in just another few moments when you're done with your reflection.